Hey everybody, Frank Garon here, and today I'm with one of my mentoring students, Colin Henderson in London, England. And I would say beautiful sunny England, Colin, but we both know that's a lie. As I sit here in Pennsylvania, you can see out my window it is kind of a rainy gray September kind of a day, so we have your weather as well. I want to thank you for taking the time out to take a few minutes to speak to the good people at home. These are people that are already working on an Amazon business. Some of them may have met with some success and kind of hit that they're at a crossroads, that stumbling block. There goes my cat Rory, one of my three cats. Rory, by the way, wanted to do a quick cameo there. They're at a stumbling block, Colin, in that they know enough to be dangerous. They know that there's money in Amazon. They know that this stuff works. They know that they have Dave Kettner's awesome support. But yet the people checking this out are saying in their heads, what would this be like if I had somebody helping me? What would it be like if I had a big brother, a mentor, a bodyguard, an agent, a coach showing me what to do? So I'm hoping you can talk about that a little bit. Can you tell us the background story of how did you come to get started with Amazon? What did you know about Amazon? How comfortable were you with just like kind of learning it at yourself at home? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So I joined up with ASM six back in October,
Okay,
so nearly a year ago now,
okay,
and through Chris Guthrie and then
hmm
into Dave's group, obviously,
right,
so yeah, I began sort of following through the steps and was able to get a product up for around February time, and then it was around that time that Dave obviously had you on the call and you were talking about your mentoring, and
hmm
yeah, I mean, I'd spoken to about four or five other people around about the same time, other coaches, and really clicked with you. And for me, I felt that it was really important because I felt like I was following ASM and it was going okay, but coming from a background with no experience in internet marketing or having done anything like this
right,
before,
right.
you know, I think you and I both know there's a lot of information out there, and it's really easy to get overwhelmed. I think you can kind of get left behind or a little bit, what's the word, sidetracked with what else is kind of going on and the kind of conversations that are happening. So I felt that it was really good for me to have somebody to just oversee everything and just help me out and guide me along that road.
Because you were trying to go, you had it in your heart right away to go full time. So you knew that to get to a certain point, it would be faster and easier and more affordable, more profitable to kind of have a big brother, a mentor, a coach come in and train and work with you. Correct? That's what you
Yeah,
were thinking.
yeah, absolutely. And like you said earlier, you've got 20 years experience in the game, and I think having somebody like that, and especially with the way that you work with me and everyone else, it's that you treat it as though it's your business as well. And I think what I love about it is that you're not just telling me do this, do that. It's more about what's the best thing for me at this moment, and
Right.
being able to to sort of build a strategy that works around my goals and what I want to achieve in the next year or two, and then going full time as well. So I think being able to tailor that as well as sort of give me specific direction in the stuff that really matters, to help keep me on track and keep moving me along, has been huge for me since I started working with you.
One thing, I'm glad you bring that up because I don't just read like from a playbook. I don't have a whole bunch of notes that I sit here and go blah 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 and kind of repeat by rote. The first thing I do is get to know my clients. I get to know them, who they are, what they want to accomplish. Why are they doing Amazon? What kind of budget? What kind of experience? What kind of skill set? Do we have existing Amazon products? Have we been successful? Do we have excess inventory we have to get rid of? Do we have products that just need a little bit of re-editing and restructuring, and maybe we can make them turn money? I think the great thing about people that are watching this now is most of the business opportunity people that thought this was going to be an overnight kind of a riches thing have left, and now the great thing is good people like yourselves have stayed the course and settled in and seen that this is a very legitimate, very lucrative, very profitable business. But it is a business. Like, you're not going to build it overnight. Sorry, I don't know anybody. I mean, if anybody said, "Oh, you're going to start today and be rich on Amazon tomorrow," I'd say I'd call BS on that. It's a business. It takes you a little bit. So that's why I try to help and try to structure it so that people get personalized attention. The help that I give you is different than the next person, different than the next person. I mean, it's all the same because we're talking about Amazon, but it's personalized to your schedule. It's personalized to your skill set, personalized to the listings and the tools that you showed up at my door with. You know, you had an existing product that we worked with. And speaking of that product, you were doing, you're kind of treading water before you came to me. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's hard to know, especially if you're on your own as well. You're not really sure of like, and especially for me, not having done anything like this before and just following ASM. It's hard to sort of understand, what should I be tracking? What should I be doing day to day? What's the stuff that really matters? And yeah, I think one of the first things that we did together was to just, go through and start to optimize everything,
Right.
going all the way from, keyword research all the way through to looking at the title again, the main image, the bullets, the description, the back end, and then going even further with PPC. It was exhaustive, and I feel like the level of detail that I've gone through with you, it doesn't even compare to what I was doing just by following a set of steps from ASM.
So, and I appreciate you saying that. So here you were before you got started on Amazon. You knew it wanted to make you wanted to make it work. You knew that the ASM modules and Dave Kettner's additional training were great, but you still wanted more because you wanted to get it done sooner. You wanted to be bigger and better than the next guy, and you said, "Hey, here's this guy Frank. Dave recommends him, so I can trust him. I'm willing to invest in my business because I take my business very seriously." What was the coaching like in the beginning, the mentoring? What did you get used to it right away? Was it a natural thing? Was it weird taking instruction from me? Was how did you feel?
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think back to those first calls. I think that I felt that I got on with you very well, very quickly, and I felt really comfortable speaking to you and getting on with you. And I felt like you really understood and you really listened to what I had to say, and also I felt like that was reciprocated as well, and that I really listened and
Yeah,
implemented all the stuff that you
absolutely.
gave too. So yeah, but I think I think to begin with, it can feel a bit weird because I've never done anything like this before. Calling someone on the other side of the world, and you're kind of wondering, like, who is this guy? But I've got to know you and your life and everything else around that, and I've come to know you as a great human being, not just a good coach. But yeah, I think that. I've overcoming those initial first few calls where it's that kind of trepidation of like what do you expect and
Right.
what should be happening. I think after that it was I found it very easy, to be honest.
Natural and just we show up, we talk, and etc. Um, two things I would say. Have I met your expectations? Have I almost met? Have I exceeded? Have I come close? Do I need improvement? Let's try that first. What's the value you've gained from working with me these few months?
Yeah, I mean, I think top to bottom, I feel like in a way like you've rebuilt me from the ground up. With all of the knowledge that I had learned already. The one thing I would say is that every single call that I have with you, and I've got a whole page full of notes that I have every single call I record something, and the biggest takeaway for me is that after every call there's at least one, two, three things that I can implement straight away, and stuff that I can use to grow the business or become more profitable. And for me it just seems that if I hadn't gone through that process 9 months ago or whatever it was, 6 months ago, there's just no way that I would have been able to come across all the stuff that you've been able to cover, talk about, whether that's just small little things like on a day-to-day level, or
Right.
even strategy on the kind of wider scope of like where to kind of head down the road.
Okay. And would you say now some people with mentoring, they're like, okay, what do I get for my money? Have I had you go out and purchase a whole ton of extra stuff after you started working with me, or have I tried to respect your budget and minimize things, I should say, additional expenses? Have I tried to help you out where I can, or is it a constant
Yeah, no.
financial outlay after?
No, no, big time. I think that's great too, and that you've been able to, as much as that, there's always something that you've got to get, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. But I
It's
think,
always, and how do you make sense? That's the thing is like, how do you make
yeah,
sense of all this? It's like this week, Video Blaster Zone. Next week, Feedback Svengali. The week after that, like amazing inventory factory. And you're like, how do I keep track of all this stuff? Like, how do I focus my day? I'm already working this business. Most of us, you guys are working this part time, I should say. I'm trying to get full time. And even if you're full time, it's like, all right, I worked, I came home, I've got to earn money. Now I'm running this business. Most of us have families. I have all this stuff being thrown at me. Like, how in the world do I even keep up? Like, I could save people months of just angst and agony and frustration just saying, here's what you focus on. You don't need this. You don't need that. You do need this. Don't bother with that. We're going to get to this in a week. And just keeping you on that path. Have you found that to be helpful? Has that improved your bottom line?
yeah, of course, 100%. I think how many times do people sign up to little trials of things, and then they get sucked into paying however much money a month into
Right,
something that they don't need.
right,
So being able to just navigate that and have somebody like yourself help me focus on the stuff that really matters. I think it's so easy to get sidetracked and not focus on the decisions that are going to make the biggest impact in your business. So and like you said as well, it's totally helped me to accelerate the process of where I feel very confident now in being able to, I could pick a product, no problem. Copywriting, not a problem. All of the kind of fundamentals that we've worked together
right.
on. It's just having the confidence to kind of break stuff down by myself now. And in our conversations as well, like you said, it's not about you telling me something. It's more of a conversation and asking the right questions. And it's like being able to come up with an answer for myself, not just for you to kind of keep
Right.
feeding me, keep feeding me, because otherwise I'm never going to be able to learn if I'm only able to take instructions. So
Yeah, I want you to think for yourself. I want to basically, when I work with somebody, my idea is to teach them enough so that they don't need me going down the road. Like I'm here to create like a carbon copy of me, each to his or her own. But I want to give you everything I know. There's no see. I think you would say I haven't kept anything secret. I haven't.
no, no,
Like what's mine is yours, and however I can help. I mean, my cell phone, right? My iPhone here. This is the same number that my wife and kids and mom and dad, and everybody, friends call me on. You have that number. If you get stuck 5 in the afternoon on a Saturday afternoon, London time, and you need me, do you know that do you feel comfortable picking up that phone and calling me if you had to?
yeah, yeah, and I have done. I've
Yeah,
texted you before and I've messaged you. I think that's one thing that people should know as well. It's not just that it's not like the doctor's appointment where you only get to speak to Frank for 15 minutes a
right.
week. As soon as you're available, like you get back to me straight away, and we have quick conversations, little emails, things where if I need specific help with anything, you're there like 24/7, which is amazing.
Anything
And
I can do to like keep you moving. That's my
yeah,
mission. So, wrapping up, two more things I want to say. Like, what's business been like since you started working with me? Has your bottom line improved? Is traffic up? Are sales up? Have you been able to pick more products? Do you feel more confident? Is your path a lot clearer these past few months?
yeah. I mean, all of those things and more. I'd say like the most important thing is that I'm more profitable now for sure, and I've got a handle on the numbers, and I've got a lot more control over what is affecting the business, and I feel like yeah, all of those things as you suggested, being able to pick a product now, it's a case of like. Um, with product selection, it's just it's abundance, isn't it? Now it's not
Sure.
just like struggling to find the next thing. It's just like having a whole huge list of stuff that we can move ahead with. And I think the really interesting thing is when we talk is about always making a business decision, rather
Right.
than just going along with like, oh, this what's the latest thing here, or what's the next thing here, or what's going to make 100 grand overnight. It's looking at the long term success of something as opposed to the kind of quick buck that I feel that a lot of people are in it for.
Yeah, well, a quick buck lasts just as quick as it came. I mean, I'm here 20 plus years. August 4th, 2016 was my 20th anniversary. I quit my job as a tractor trailer driver, as a lorry driver, as we would say in the UK, and coming home to work full time. And I've been blessed, man. It's been 20 good years, 20 very profitable years, and I've helped a lot of people to follow in my footsteps. And I do. I have it in my heart to help people. I'm glad you're one of my students. I know how hard you work. You juggle your day job. You're moving into a new house with your partner. You've got all kinds of things going on. Um, there's just a ton of stuff happening. What would you say to somebody that's considering mentoring? Like, what two or three little things can you say to them? Like, here's somebody listening, and they're like, "Yeah, I think I need help, but I don't know this guy Frank, or I don't know if mentoring's really for me, or if this guy can help me." What would you say to them?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say like if you're on the fence, I just think what have you got to lose? It's just a no-brainer for me because everything that I've learned and I've just said it's just there's just no way that I would have been able to come across the things that I have done in the last however many months. And the big thing for me is the people that you have access to as well, and
Right.
that you're able to, you're sat at the top table with a lot of some serious people, and you're able to pass that information on straight away to us. That's the amazing thing. And I think if you can't see that this is going to be a shortcut for you, like whether you're just starting out like me, having no experience or background whatsoever, to maybe somebody who's doing well and you want to take it to the next level,
Right.
I can't endorse you enough. And not only that, I'm not trying to blow smoke, but you're a top bloke, and you go above and beyond anyone else that I've come across. So I really respect you
Well,
on a human level as well.
you're a good man, and I appreciate you, and I'm glad we're friends now, as well as me helping you build your Amazon internet empire. So again, if you're listening to this, register for our call this Thursday with Dave. We're going to talk about some other situations and some other case studies and hear from some other people. And I'm going to talk about how I can work with you personally, one on one. This is a very specific, very limited program. I don't have room to take on 800 people, even 80 people. Not even close, man. I am busy working on my Amazon business, but I do take on a handful of people at a time, once or twice a year, to kind of help them along at a very affordable, very reasonable rate, and help them take their Amazon business to the next level. It's like nothing you've seen, and I look forward to hearing from you on Thursday. So make sure you sign up for the call. Colin, thanks so much for your time, and I'll speak to you later, brother. Thanks.
Take care.
All right, thanks everybody. Bye.